Alright, in this video I'm just going to end up working a few problems on radicals and simplifying radicals, performing operations on radicals, just some stuff that we've been working on in class that folks collectively say they need a little bit of help with. Alright, I'm just going to do a problem here on simplification and just kind of get started with, it's really an Algebra 1 review, but this seems a little bit more complicated because we're working with more variables and there's more things on the outside, so it seems more complicated than it actually is. Alright, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to take note of the index. Since here I see that the index is 4, I'm going to be looking for groups of 4. Okay, so I'm going to be looking for quadruples, if you will. So what I'm going to end up starting off with is the 112. I know there's already a 4 out front. Okay, so the 112, if I ever get to a place where I don't know how to break the number down, I say, alright, it's even. So then 2 and 56. 56 I'm going to break down to 2 and 28. And this is just the most efficient way I can think to break down even numbers if you don't know what you're doing. Alright, cool. So, I'm looking for groups of 4. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have the outside numbers that I know are all going to kind of be waiting outside. I'm going to do that in blue. Okay. And I'm going to end up circling the inside numbers, and we'll say the inside numbers are variables, really, in green. Now, when I say outside and inside, I'm talking about in relation to the radical. Alright, so I'm going to start with looking for those groups of 4. Alright, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 2s. Alright, so I know I'm going to have a 2 out front. And I know I'm going to have a 7 left over, because the 7's got no love. No other groups it can pair up with. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is address these m's. Okay, the m's. So basically I have 8 m's. Well, alright, this is pretty obvious since I have 8 of them. I'm looking for groups of 4. Well, here's going to be 1. And here's going to be 2. So there's 2 groups of m's that I'm pulling out. So an m squared is going to go out front. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and do these ends. Alright, same type of situation. I'm going to have 10 of them. And I'm going to be looking for quadruples, groups of 4. And this isn't going to be terribly difficult at all. There's 1 and 2. So since there's 2 n's, I know an n squared is going to go out front as well. And now we kind of see the pattern here. So for p to the 7th, I'm going to have 7 p's. 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. I'm looking for groups of 4. I'm looking for quadruples. And here I see 1 with 3 left over. So just 1 p is going to be chilling out front. And I'm going to have p cubed here. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. There's going to be an n squared here as well. Sorry. I forgot to do that. Alright, so those are all the things that are going to end up on the inside. If you'll notice, there's no m's left on the inside, but that's okay because they all paired up nicely. And I need to remember my radical. The 4th root, that thing there. Alright, so that's going to end up being how we simplify. Alright, now multiply is the same type of situation. Multiply is where we just all put this together under here. Oh, whoops, I forgot something. Forgot something again. There was already a 4 out front, right? So now I just have to multiply that. So I multiply those, and 4 times 2 is 8. So, geez, get it together. There we go. So 8. Okay, so that's how we're going to end up simplifying. Multiplying is the same type of situation. We just have to put everything under that radical and then break it down from there. So I'm going to leave you to check your notes on that one. All right, now, addition. This is one that confuses kids. This is not that big a deal. Okay, I like to do all my numbers first. Okay, take it step by step. All right, so I'm looking for groups of 4 and 4 and 4. So I'm looking for quadruples again. All right, 160, 10 and 16, 5 and 2, 4 and 4, 2, 2, 2, 2. All right, cool. We'll say outside is still going to be blue, and inside is still going to be green. I like to take it one thing at a time. Okay, so now I see groups of 4 for that first term, and I'm just going to leave these as placeholders for all the terms, just so that I can kind of keep my bearings straight here. So here's 1, 2, 3. Alright, so a 2 is going to go outside. And then who's left inside? Well, there's a 5 and a 2. Right? So a 10 is going to be left on the inside. Alright, now I'm going to do the numbers for this one here. Well, it looks like there's only a 5. And I need groups of 4, so 2 is only going to have a 5 on the inside. And then here, for this 405, things could get real. Alright, 405, 81, and 5. 9 and 9. 3, 3, 3, 3. Alright, cool. Well, I see 4 3s. So a 3's going out front here, and then a 5 is going to be left inside. Alright, so let me just go ahead and set up my radicals here while I'm moving into the variables. And really, folks start inventing like they go through every single one of these, but you'll notice that they're all basically the same. I mean, we can save a ton of time here. If I look at the p's, they all have p to the 11, and they all have an index of 4. So really, all I have to do, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All I have to do is figure out what's going to go on the outside of one of them, and I can just put that in all 3. Alright, so there's one group of 4, here's 2 groups of 4, so a p squared is going to go on the outside, and there are 3 p's left over on the inside, so I've got that. Alright, so everybody's going to get a p cubed on the inside, and everyone's going to get a p squared on the outside. So right now it's starting to look like some like terms are going to show up, which is the only thing I really need to worry about when I'm adding and subtracting. Alright, so I've got those things there. Now I've got the same thing with Q, really. With the Q to the 6th is in all 3 of them, so I can kind of do this all at once as well. 2, what is that? Alright, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are beautiful Q's. Whatever. So I've got 4 here, so I know a Q is going to pop on the outside. and the ditties that are left over become q squared on the inside. So let's do q squared on the inside, q squared, q squared, and then there is just a singular q on the outside. Alright, and now I'll go ahead and put my signs in there. And what I always like to do is kind of think about where my like terms are. Well, this one here has a 10 on the inside, so these are different from these two. So 1 is not a like term. Well, here they both have a 5, p cubed q squared, p squared q. Well, that's good. So these are like terms. This right here, there's 3 of them, right? There's technically a 1 out here. Oof. Should make this look a little bit less terrible. So there's a 1 technically out there. Well, I take one of these things, right? Who cares what they are? One of these things, and I subtract 3 of those things from there. So 1, I mean, yeah, these things are big, right? If I take one thing and I subtract 3 of that same thing from it, well, what I end up with is -2 thing. Alright, cool. So now I know 2 and 3 are going to combine to -2 p squared q 4th root of 5p cubed q squared. And that first term can't combine with anything, so it's just chilling out front anyway. And there's my final solution. Alright, so these are things that you should be able to do at this stage in the game. This was just a little bit of homework help. If you have any questions, come and see me at tutoring or drop a comment down below. Thank you so much. Have a good night.